What is up, guys? My name is Josh, also known as TheJoshWatson, and today I'm going to be taking you through my entire gaming setup, how I make my videos, how I do my live streams, and showing you some of the simple things that you can do, because a lot of you have asked me how you guys can get started gaming and live streaming on YouTube. So I'm going to take you guys through some simple steps that I think is a good place for you to start if you're wanting to get started creating content on YouTube. Give it a thumbs up if you're excited, and let's jump right into it. So this is my gaming setup. It's actually pretty simple. I've got the dual monitors here, and you can see I've got my microphone extended right now. I can't actually move my microphone off to the side so I can easily see both of my screens. And you can see I actually have it going into a little mixer board here, and I'll explain all of this in detail in just a minute, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview. I've got the webcam over there. I actually have a China ball lighting system back there, which I'll explain in a minute. Very, very simple, very cheap to do. I've got my Xbox One and my PS4. I actually keep my Xbox 360 down on the floor there because running out of room on the desk, and I think it's just a little bit more efficient. I have this shelf back here that I have my microphone attached to, and I've actually got a hammer sitting on it just to weight it down so it doesn't tip over, but then I also keep some of my controllers there. Got a bunch of other kind of messy stuff over here, more controllers, headsets. I actually have a GameCube, a bunch of games, more games over here, and just some decorative stuff. I got posters here as well. And so yeah, I'll just go through this piece by piece and just walk you through what I'm doing here. So the first thing that we'll talk about is my monitor setup. The one on the right here is actually a television. This is what I use to do all my gaming on. But it also does hook up to my computer, which is my Mac Mini back there. This is my second monitor here where I keep my stream feed, everything else that I'm doing while I'm gaming so that I can be, making sure that I'm monitoring everything while I'm streaming and while I'm recording. It's pretty simple and it's actually very, very efficient. The next thing we'll go through is actually my audio setup right here. My audio setup is actually more complex than it really needs to be, but I like to have a lot of control over my audio to be able to mix it externally rather than allowing the software to do it for me, if that makes sense. So this is actually a very simple condenser mic with a scissor arm and a pop filter. I actually got this for a very, very good deal on Amazon for about $30. This entire apparatus here with the microphone, the cord, the scissor mount, and the pop filter. I got it on a very, very good discount. And so I definitely recommend if you're looking for a microphone, just kind of keep your eyes out for good deals like this and definitely check the reviews on them. So this is my mixer board. I've got my microphone coming in here through an XLR cable. These are the knobs right here that control the mix of my microphone, so I have a lot of control over exactly what my microphone sounds like. And then these two cables are the left and right of my main mix going out into my computer over here. The reason I have it set up this way is because this gives me a lot more control than it would if I just had it plugged directly into my computer. This also gives me the ability to put in other sounds here if I want to. I can plug in music. I can even put my game audio in here and mix my game audio separate from everything else that I'm doing over here. So it's very, very convenient. This is the way that I like to do it, but I'm kind of an audio nerd. And so you can simplify it by getting a microphone that just plugs directly into your computer. And if you're starting out simply, that's how I recommend doing it. So the next thing we'll go over is just my consoles and my capturing. This right here is my capture card. It's the Elgato HD60. It's a very, very simple thing where basically it has an HDMI that goes into it and then the HDMI that goes out to my main monitor over there. And then it has this USB that plugs into the computer. And basically what it does is as the HDMI signal passes through, it captures whatever the HDMI signal is carrying, the image and the sound, and puts it into my computer, into the software where it can be recorded and or streamed. One thing that bears mentioning in regards to Elgato is it is actually designed for PC, not necessarily for Mac. It does work on Mac, but the Mac software is not quite as robust as the PC version. So if you want to use Elgato, I definitely do recommend using it on a PC. I'm actually going to be dual booting my Mac in a bit here so that I can run it on Windows because Elgato just runs much better on Windows than it does on OS X. So this is my webcam. I have it set up on a very, very simple tripod. It's a very cheap, very simple tripod. The webcam itself, I think, was about $30. You don't need something super, super fancy for a webcam because, really anything that's HD and anything that has a pretty good dynamic range is going to be good. You want something that's going to work well with your setup. And so, this is what I chose for me. It's the Stop Motion Explosion 1080p webcam if you want to look it up. You can get it on Amazon for not very much. And it's very, very simple. Like I said, just a simple tripod. That works very well, and so it just plugs directly into my Mac over there via USB, and it works really, really well. So now we're going to talk about my lighting. This is actually probably the simplest piece of my setup. You can see this is literally just an extension cord hanging from the ceiling. It goes around here, and I plug it into there when I'm ready to use it. This is what's called a China ball. It's a really good way to get nice, soft, even lighting that just looks really, really good on camera. This is what it looks like without the China ball on it. It's literally just an extension cord with a little adapter so you can plug a light bulb into it. This whole entire lighting setup, including the China ball, was maybe $5. And so it's a really, really cheap way to do lighting. These China balls can be picked up from like party stores or places like that. They're called China balls or Chinese lanterns. And the China ball itself was, I think, like $1, maybe $1.25. A light bulb is maybe another couple of dollars. And then a little adapter plus an extension cord. You know, like I said, you're looking at like $5 for this entire lighting setup. It's a very easy way, very cheap way to get some very, very quality lighting that's very soft, very even lighting. And it really looks great on camera. So as you can see, my setup's actually pretty dang simple. It's not very complicated, and I've tried to not spend way too much money on it because there are a lot of people out there that just go crazy with the, huge tons and tons of monitors, and it's unnecessary in my opinion. Really, I got by with a single monitor for quite a while, but I finally upgraded to 2 monitors. I actually bought this one used online. It's a very simple way to get just a basic monitor that works pretty well. So if you're looking to get into streaming and YouTube content creation, I hope this has been helpful for you. One of the biggest barriers to entry that I feel a lot of people have a hard time getting around is the fact that if you're going to stream console, you do need some kind of a capture card, such as the HD60 that I'm using. And that HD60 is about $150. It's the most expensive piece, other than my computer, of my entire setup. But if you just want to stream PC games, you can actually use a software called OBS. It's completely free. You can look it up. It's very, very simple. You can be capturing directly from your computer and streaming directly to YouTube, Twitch, other services like that. And so if you're wanting to get into streaming, I definitely recommend looking into that because that's going to be a lot cheaper than getting a capture card to stream console. There are other options out there for streaming console games, and so if you're having a hard time affording an actual capture card, I recommend looking into some of those other options because there are a lot of options out there if you want to stream console. Really, my main recommendation I can give for creating your own gaming setup that works for you is just doing a lot of research, watching a lot of these setup videos, seeing what other people are, seeing what the standards are, and seeing what works for you. Definitely do a lot of research into cameras, different types of webcams, different types of microphones, USB mics versus XLR or quarter-inch microphones, having a mixer board like I do. There's lots and lots of different options out there, and what works for you is not necessarily going to be what works for me or any other streamer out there. And so you know what you want to do with your setup, and so I recommend look at what you can afford and what you can do, and then go from there and just start building it up piece by piece. Because I didn't have all this on day one. I started out using a little lavalier mic that I would actually tape underneath my shirt to capture my audio, and so and then I eventually was able to upgrade to this microphone, which works really, really well and sounds really, really good. And so basically, it's about building up your equipment over time and not necessarily getting it all at once. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing how I create my videos and what I am doing with my setup. Give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this, and definitely check out my other content. I do a lot of live streaming on this channel, and I'm also producing some pre-recorded videos throughout the week. And then I do vlogs every single Sunday, bringing you through my life, showing you the behind the scenes of how I create my content. Thanks so much for your support, guys. I'm the Josh Watson. I will see you guys next video.